Good afternoon, everybody in the VHR. We're going to go ahead and just do some insight as far as what we're going to be working with here. Currently, I'm in game running SGI, trying to pull in members into the general population. What we're going to do from that is typically that's where we end up getting some of the stronger players that we've had over time, and players in general that want to do content and want to do rating with us. They see what we have available, and the growth from that has always been our most consistent measure. Um, uh, as far as /2, I'm still putting up the macro. So I'll go ahead and I'll move this up real quick and take a look at it. That's what it's looked like currently, right there. Variance Heroic Raiders, 1313. Not sure if you can see it, so right, move it a little bit better. But that's what it looks like. That's what I'm asking for. We need to also start continuing on working with dual specs. So, like, if there's another thing that you can do, it needs to give the team flexibility. Please work on that consistently. Be proactive. Don't make it where I have to, like, 2 weeks from now ask you, for example, or anything like that. Always be trying to figure out the best thing that you can do to make the team as flexible as possible, so that way we can take it in. This lockout with 20 people is going to make it interesting, because before we would adjust and we have all these tactics that we can use in heroic that was putting us in a really strong position to be able to get what we wanted done as far as our second goal. But now we're on our third goal, and the third goal is going to take a little bit of timing, tweaking, uh, flexibility from players as far as time and what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be really important to make sure that we're hitting our signups on a consistent basis, that we're reviewing tactic on a consistent basis, and evolving ourselves as players. I look at it like, since most of us have done a limited amount of Mythic, as far as like pug groups or in guilds, for example, that have done content in the past, that gives us a little bit of a percentile above the curve of what we're doing in this. But I look at it as a team. This is the growth process now, where we're going to have to learn to become Mythic Raiders and play at that much higher level with the way that mechanics function, the lack of forgiveness for damage that comes in versus damage out, avoidable damage being avoided, right? And then having a plan. It seems even on Hellfire Assault at this point that it requires quite a bit of nuance of knowing each one of the elements and having actually a response for it, and working our way through that. So make sure that you're putting in the time to be as prepared as possible, as a responsibility as a Mythic Raider. We have from now basically until Legion, when we're doing Mythic Legion content, to be as prepared as possible. So continue to work at it and continue working on it, and hopefully what we'll end up getting is a good turnaround. A couple of elements that I want to show that I'm introducing is a raid player forum. Now what I did was, under the forums, I'm going to archive a lot of the old stuff. I'm going to put it down into an archive material forum, because I created it. It's kind of like keeping that textbook you just can't get rid of. I'm notorious for that. And then what we're going to do is have it's set up where the raid players are going to have their own forum. So what this is going to do is create like your own folder for you. It's going to give a degree of responsibility for you to be able to kind of post like the latest information about what you're doing. We're going to ask for things like your user interface, the photos, questions involving, for example, tactic and rotation. Give us basically a library for each player, and then what we'll do is we'll just build off that on a consistent basis. The one element that I keep seeing, for example, on top posters, it's kind of the same people always posting. We have me at 339 posts, Murphy at 72, Darvel at 49, and then it's 19, 18, 13, 9. We're able to track up here in the admin as far as the users, like what pages are they going to, how they're looking at it. We have current raiders that haven't been to the website in like 3 months, 6 months, etc. So what our goal to do here is to to create activity that is directly reflective of you as a player. So I'm going to start with mine, work on it, critique it, and over the next couple of weeks, by probably the 1st, 2nd of January forward, I'll start adding other people's names and kind of ask for them to work within the format that I'm going to create. And then that way what we'll have is continuous material being presented. I think it'll give us a really good benchmark for example, like if a certain class wants to talk about, how their rotation's working out for them, or, what elements as far as abilities are better to choose, or glyphs are better to choose, for example, on different encounters. For example, like last night, me and Milka were going back and forth, and there was an issue involving, first off, my sound channel, and then being notified when the debuff was coming up and they were silencing one of our players. So we both went with the glyph to improve it, where we have 2 of the available cleanses, so that way we can take off up to 4 of them within a 10-second period. And so, like, that's the evolution. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to start to see on a consistent basis. Like I said, you'll see a lot of that being produced in here, and what I'm hoping is that it really gets some really good participation by everybody. So if we can work on that, that'd be great. On Facebook currently, I'm posting in all of the recruitment threads for World of Warcraft. I posted one here for the guilds. Here's the one for Raiders. I bumped it up. I also put in some stuff on MMO. I updated our post on Wowhead here, and also, like I said, MMO Champion. So we're getting our name out, and we're creating material. What I'm hoping is that it'll continue to push us forward and give us an opportunity. Please be patient. Please be open about communication and discussion, as far as what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to get to. And we'll achieve our goals, We'll look at doing additional stuff, like I said last night, involving content for High Mall, for example, and other areas as we move forward. And we'll just kind of see how that, plays itself out and what we can do. Okay? Thanks again for taking the time to watch the video. If you have any comments or whatnot, please just let me know. If you find any raiders or whatnot, please let me know. And we'll continue to try and improve. Okay? Have a blessed day.